I'm Nestor. Nice to meet you. How are you?
My name is Alvin.
I think that we had an appointment. Maybe we had an appointment in Istanbul.
Could be.
Yes, it could be.
Yes.
You were or not?
I were there.
You were, but
I was moving all around. They had
Yes,
my table the last
we
table on
had, but we
time.
never did it.
No problem. I'm
Okay,
glad to meet
no
with
problem.
you here.
I asked you later for tomorrow. An invitation for the other members. We have a panel.
Τι? Ναι, αυτά που έχω κάνει εκεί, τι κάνεις? Πώς είσαι? Πώς πάει η βόλτα, εδώ?
Πηγές ζωής,
Ωραία, απόγευμα είχες το ξέρω.
στις 7.
Τι συμβαίνει συνέχεια? Πολύ γνωρίζω. Θυμάμαι το πρώτο που είπε το πρώτο που έλεγες ότι θα ήταν ωραίο. Το θυμάμαι, δηλαδή, ή στο στερήσουμε, το συνδυασμό. Α, ωραία.
Ναι, να είστε καλά. Μόνοι μου εκεί από εδώ πέρα.
Μόνοι σου.
Άντρας μου τίποτα. Τα παιδιά μου τίποτα.
Δηλαδή έγινε. Θα το δούμε εδώ που θα έρθει.
Εχθές χτύπησα ένα γύρο μόνος και δεν παραμονή γενεθλίων. Όχι σήμερα Σάββατο.
Κάτσε, δεν έχεις φίλους.
Έχω μια συμμαθήτρια και τα λοιπά. Εγώ την παρακολουθούσα γιατί μου κάνει μια γεώλογα και συνεχίζω να πάντα έκανα και في واحد عندي ميتنج جاي يمين اتاخر شوي.
Καλησπέρα.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We're about to begin our next discussion.
Everyone, nice to see you here again. We're going to continue with our panel discussions. We are very glad to have here our Miss Alanou Dali from the Publishers Association of Emirates. We have also with us Fatima Al-Hadib. She's also a publisher and a member from the Publishers Association of Emirates. And we have Nestor Aspulakos. He's a publisher from Vakikon Publications from Greece. Our panel discussion is about the empowerment of publishers through the development of professional and the professional development and the promotion of book publishers in Asia, in Greece, and in general in global world. With not further ado, we're going to start the discussion with Ms. Alanou Dali. She's going to tell us about her experience and her representation of the Book Publishers Association of Emirates. So, thank you for being here with us, and we're very happy to hear you and discuss about these issues.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very glad to be here at the Saloniki Book Fair representing Emirates Publishers Association to discuss empowering publishers through outreach and professional development. I mean, us being here today at the book fair itself is one of the initiatives to develop the skills of the publishers, especially the Emirati publishers, as it is a new market for us to explore and to measure the Greek market and what are the interests of the Greek publishers and how we can maintain bridges between Emirati publishers and Greek publishers. One of the I would say initiatives associations can take and book fair organizers in developing skills of publishers in general is the session, for example, that we're having today, and the fellowship program, the professional program that are run in parallel with the book fairs, because it gives chances to the publishers to meet not only the hosting country, but also to meet international publishers who are coming from all over the world and attending the book fair and the professional program. And it allows them to have matchmaking sessions and one-on-one meetings with the international publishers. It is one place, and it allows them to meet, beyond the borders. So it is one of the things that I think it adds to the skills of the publishers, especially also attending sessions and connecting with leading publishers in the industry, from my point of view.
Very nice. Also, who have the first impressions from the publisher perspective. So tell us your impressions and about how is the current state of publishing in your country, and what is the current trends about the literature, and what do you want to, outside from your country, the other world, to see and learn about your literature?
First of all, I'd like to thank you for having us here in Thessaloniki. As a publisher, being here in these programs really exposes us and helps us to learn about other cultures, which we want also to do, to have our cultures be heard or read. So being here actually, doing business through the emails and phone is totally different from being here and seeing the publishers face to face. And also being in the country makes us learn about it even more about the literature. Our country is a very young country, you can say, but the publishing business and the publishing world is really flourishing. We have a very big support from our government, financial support, emotional support, you can say, from the government for all the publishers who are there. So we are trying to catch up, and I think we are already.
And we have, and Nestoras, you have an expertise with connection with other countries. Please tell us your experience. What is unique for a Greek publisher to represent or to promote the literature, the Greek literature abroad? What are the difficulties? What are the things that you have been found out through your experience?
Okay. Panagiotis, my ladies, welcome to Thessaloniki, and thank you for the invitation. Okay, your question is the hot question of of these years for the Greek literature.
I started, with the difficult ones, and then we go to easy ones.
Yes, because in Greece, in the last years, we have the hot discussion about how we could promote the Greek literature abroad, which is the kind of the support of the state to the Greek publishers, and if our language is minor or major, or if it is difficult to translate, and all of this. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but Greece has not this supporting system to his publisher like your country. We have the experience, I have the experience from Sharjah especially. But this is not the point only, because, okay, we want the support of the government, we want a specific ecosystem of the publishing sector, because the publishers could do several things by own expenses, but they need also the support of the government, and of course not only the economical support, but also the support to be more experts in their fields, in their field of the rights, to selling rights or to buying rights, to searching and looking for new books to translate it into Greek, and the opposite. But anyway, I think that all these difficulties in our country make us very strong. This is the truth. We have a very good presence in the big book fairs internationally. I think that the Greek literature is a literature that could be promoted abroad, and I think we have found sometime the way to do it more, I don't know, more dynamic maybe, this kind of the promotion. Okay, we have a minor language, and we must convince the other publishers to translate our books into their languages, because it's not very usual to have translators from Greek into other languages, especially Arabic. Is a very powerful language. It's not very easy. Also in Greece, we don't have a lot of translators from Arabic into Greek, but we have. At least we have. This is not a true in other countries for the Greek language. This is not the reality. This is not the reality. But we try. In this point of my speech, I must say about our collaboration with your country. Our collaboration not only for this celebration or for this guest of honor of Sharjah, but it's very important that Sharjah has this system for the publishing sector, has this very fruitful conference every year who could connect a lot of publishers abroad. So because of this conference, we have the opportunity, a lot of Greek publishers have the opportunity to go to Sharjah, to connect with Arabic publishers to buying and selling rights, but also to connect with publishers from all over the world. This is very important because it's not necessary if you go, for example, to Frankfurt or to Bologna. It's not necessary that you have the opportunity to meet Italian publishers or a lot of international publishers if you don't have already an agenda to make your appointments and to do all these connections. If you are a new publisher and you want to do business and you have the opportunity to go to Sharjah Book Conference, you could have a very productive agenda for the next 3 years, for example. You have a lot of, you could have a lot of new collaborations and new appointments about it. So, if we return in the beginning of the conversation, I think that this kind of organizations from the governments, like Book Conference or like Thessaloniki International Book Fair, and especially the fellowship in Thessaloniki, this is a very good opportunity for a lot of publishers, Greeks or Arabics or from any country, to do business with appropriate way.
Do you want to add something?
I would like to emphasize on what he mentioned. For example, Sharjah International Book Fair, it gives the opportunity for international publishers, for example, who attend the professional program, to apply for translation grants. It also happens in Abu Dhabi International Book Fair, so we're quite familiar in the United Arab Emirates with facilitating translation grants from to Arabic, so it benefits the Emirati publishers as well as the international publishers who wish to sell or buy rights. And those grants also cover the translation costs. Some of them cover the cost of the copyright as well. So having this as an example, it shows how we can empower the publishers. Another aspect is, for example, in Emirates Publishers Association, we have a training center. The training center, we try to develop the skills of our members in the association. So, for example, before any international book fairs, we do briefing for them on how to prepare yourself when you are participating in international book fairs. We had, at the beginning of the year, for example, an intensive training for the publishers on how to prepare the contracts for selling the rights, so that they are familiar when they want to sell the rights during the international book fair. As we all know, the first half of the year we have a lot of international book fairs back to back, so we try to equip them and refresh their information on how to prepare those contracts. Also, we do give briefing about marketing. We tend to represent as well the publishers in the international book fair. For example, in our guest of honor participation at the moment, we have 4 publishers physically attending with us, but we also have a whole section of variety of books where we market for those publishers who weren't able to attend with us through a QR code where they get all the information for the title. For example, if this title was translated before, what ISBN number, the direct contact of the publishing house. And in the United Arab Emirates, the number of publishers is growing. At the moment in our association, we have 340 members. I've heard that in Greece you have 7 different associations for publishing, but we have one that is centralized for all kind of genres, which is, you know, quite helpful to sort of facilitate for the publishers under one umbrella. So this is one of the experiences that I would love to share with my Greek publishers and organizers, and sort of, you know, to adapt to the Emirati model to help also as well in the Greek market of publishing, if you would like to.
It's very interesting that you have one association that makes things easier, I suppose, and also the training center that you mentioned. I think it's a best practice for every association in order to be ready for the professional meetings, and also to know better also their products and their literature, and also are to be more prepared to represent the countries, the country that they come from outside, the other book fairs. So I point out to this training center that is, I think, is very useful for every association. Regarding the publishers, you mentioned that there are 340 publishers. These publishers are focusing only in literature, or children's book, everything, non-fiction, and okay. So the next question is, which kind of, which thematic categories, which categories of books do you think that they are more easier for people from abroad to translate from your country? Which is, I mean, your strong point, your strong thematic category? It's literature, it's children's books. I want your opinion, and for publishing, and for promoting.
I think from a publisher's point of view, I'm not talking about data or anything, it's all with her. But I think what most what is known most of other Arab countries, not just in Arab countries, poetry. We have a lot of Emirati poets. We do have a lot of novelists also who are writing in fiction books. But I think mostly, as I said, we have poetry books. But it is very diversified there. We have so many things. I myself only do translations, so I translate from different languages to Arabic. And yeah, I think Alanoud can give you the data more on what exactly is the highest number of books that we have.
All right, so there is no specific, I cannot give you a specific number actually when it comes to genre, but before participating in any book fair, usually we do the research about that market. Like, for example, we know that children book sells internationally. There is no problem. But for example, before coming to Saloniki, we did research, and it appeared to us that the Greek like to read historical books and poetry. So, and some of them were self-help. So this is what we are showcasing. So it really depends on the market that we are exploring. That's one thing. In our local market, we have a variety of genres of books. For example, we've got boutique publishing houses that specialize in specific topic. For example, only self-help for adults, or only emotional support children books. So we know that they have a specific target, and it makes our job much easier when we try to market them. And we have other, for example, Fatma Al-Khatib representing Sidra. She does translation work from all languages to Arabic. So it's also easy when we try to market the publishing house, we know that she's willing to invest in buying rights. And then when we have the briefing meeting with her, I ask her, what kind of genres are you interested in? Even if it's novels, would you like some historical novels? Do you want something that has to do with action, love stories? So then we try to break down the need. But from my observation in the Emirati market, we have a quite large number of publishers who do produce children literature. It's quite high compared to the adult books. This is what I have noticed.
I just want to add to what Alanoud said. When I came here, my main target was to have a new Greek literature introduced to the Arab world. I think if you ask any Arab what novels you've read from the Greek languages, all like the old novels, maybe Zorba the Greek or the Odyssey and these books. But we don't know about the new literature. And so I think this was my main target coming here. And I have actually met with a lot of publishers here and writers already, and it's been the first day only. So like my main focus is to get those new maybe books, bestsellers in Greek, to take it to the Arab and translate it into Arabic.
So you mean there's a gap between ancient Greek past and the contemporary writing, right? Some. Mm-hmm. So you are attending Thessaloniki as a guest of honor. It's great for the book fair, of course, and for us to know better your country and your cultural production. You already mentioned that you have met with Greek publishers. How are your impressions? The question is both, and then I will ask Nestoras about his knowledge. Do you find similarities with the Greek publishing industry in terms of how they are working to express their literature, to promote the literature abroad? Or do you find some similarities about the way of thinking? Because Arabian culture and Greek culture have a strong past and have relations. So is it easier for you to communicate with Greek publishers do you see some similarities? I want your thoughts about that. How you find this connection and this communication with them?
The first thing I thought when I reached the Thessaloniki airport is like, wow, the Greek look like Arabs. And then I found out that we have a lot of similarities. When I came here, I've met some publishers and writers, and they were very eager to get their culture, to get their literature to be translated into different languages. They were very open to it, which made me very happy and relaxed that they want the same as we know, as we want. So. Like I said, we're very, very excited for this. We're very excited to find out about... I've actually met with a guy who has one of the best-selling books in Greek. So I think that's a great opportunity, and he was very open to translate to Arabic. So I think this, as Alanut said, will build bridges between the two nations and the two countries.
Well, my relationship with Greek publishers and organizers started way before Saloniki Book Fair, is where we meet usually in international book fairs, and I tend to also introduce them to my publisher whenever I get a chance, which helps, you know, that I get to know the publishers directly and the organizers who are of a great help, you know, to facilitate this communication between us and the Greek publishers. For example, in Bologna Book Fair, we had the chance to meet with a recently established publishing house in Athens, and I fell in love with the children's books that they were showcasing. It was really brilliant. And we took the chance at Bologna, and we did the matchmaking between them and Emirati publishers. And we are in the process now of establishing a deal to have their books translated to Arabic, and they were really so happy because they said, we have recently opened, and to have a chance to have our books that are launched only this year to be translated into Arabic is sort of a big deal for them. So what I try to emphasize always is that you take advantage of the book fairs. As Fatma mentioned earlier in the session, that we do communicate through email and through the phone. It's different in the book fair. It's really where you get the deal done, I would say.
Thank you for these answers. Nestoras, you are a Greek publisher, and do you have experience with the Arabic translation or fiction that you have in your publishing house? I want to tell us about that experience. How difficult it is to approach a different kind of language, it's totally different from our language, and how is how the audience and the readers what is their what is their expectation from these literature works, or not literature works? Maybe there's poetry and fiction. You can tell us your experience.
It's better. Okay. As I told before, I have attended 2 times in Shazda Book Conference, so I had the chance to meet a lot of Arabic publishers. The truth is that the production every year of the Arabic literature is not very big in Greece. This is not very strange, to be honest, because I think in every country, most of the countries, to be more specific, the most translated titles is from English, from French, from German, this kind of languages. So Arabic language in countries like Greece has the disadvantage that the books which translated into Greek are around 3-4, I think, books every year, something like that. So from the moment that the Greek publisher attended the book conference, have the opportunity to meet books, to meet publishers, and to have deals, especially with the support of the Book Authority. because it's true, the grants are very useful, because also the translators from Arabic into Greek are a few. So we want this support to attract maybe the translators to translate these books into Greek. I don't think that it's hard to approach the Arabic publishers, especially if you play the game in their part, in their ground, like in Sharjah. I don't know in Thessaloniki, but in Sharjah it's not hard. I think it's easy. We have the same channel of the communication. The job is the same. We want to sell or to buy rights. I think that we want to find good books to translate. I'm very impressed from the work of Sharjah Book Authority, because besides the Arabic titles, they also support titles from other languages. In my first year in a conference, I supported for 5 titles from Arabic and for 3 titles from other languages. And for these 3 titles, I'm very impressed. Why? Why? Yes, yes. I know the answer. I know the answer that the deal made in Sharjah. I know the answer, but this is not something understandable in other book fairs and other fellowships and other book authors. It's very good, this job from you. It's a good comment. not it's a straight comment. It's a strange from someone else, but I know your work. If you have, I return back to the first question, not in the same. If you have this very good ecosystem, and you could be part of this ecosystem, to buying or selling rights, to find the ways to translate the books, because there are a lot of ways, but you must work to find these ways. And you have a support from a state, I don't know, then your work may be very productive, and you could bring, for example, Arabic titles in Greece and Greek titles in the Arabic countries.
What about the translators? Do we have translators from both? There are many. It's a lack of translators between our 2 languages. I don't know. I know that some universities here in Greece have Arabic studies, but I don't know if this makes them to translate from Arabic to Greek. I don't know. I want your experience, and Nestoras, how difficult is to find a good translator to represent the essence of the book in both of our languages.
Finding translators in general is very hard, but finding from Greek to Arabic, there are. I'm not saying there aren't. There are a few, but not as many as we want, or as many as we would love to have. So I think the lack of translators from Greek is also making it a little bit of a problem for us to translate, because they're usually occupied if you want to contact them or if you want to give them any work. But it's not the same for other languages. French is very easy to find. English is very easy to find. So I would love to have more translators if you can. If you can give us a contact.
Thank you. This is the same thing. If you have a language which is not very popular in your country, the translators are few. We have translators in Greece, but we have the translators for the books that we published. Because we published every year around 3, 4, 5 books, so we have the translators for these books. The problem maybe will be if we must translate more than 10, 15 books a year. This is a problem, I think.
I would say, again, to add to what they mentioned, but for example, from an organization point of view, what I try to do is that, again, I utilize my time being at any international book fair, so to expand my network, I try to look also for translators to add them to my database and also share it with the publishers to sort of facilitate for that.
So maybe there is a need for a translation center, not only training center about the professional part, but the core of the book publishing industry is the language. So here is a lack of maybe our policies or our organizations can try.
I myself know Emiratis who are half Emirati, half Greek.
Yeah.
Their mother tongue is Arabic and Greek. Sometimes I translation, unfortunately.
Yes. You point out that, yes, you can tell.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you've heard me. I think I was loud enough. But there are some Arab people, especially in the UAE, who speak Greek. I myself know, I have some of my friends who are half Greek, half Emirati. But they are not into translation, although the mother tongue is Greek. But they are not in translation. Yeah. We do have a lot of Emiratis, like it's
Yes.
very strange, but there are a lot of Emiratis who are half Greek. Their mother is Greek.
Of course, the translation
Yes.
of literature is more
But
demanding.
true, that is true.
That's the point. Yes.
We need also a training center for publishers in Greece. Okay. We don't have.
Nestoras, we need a lot, but
We don't have. So
Yes.
it's not obvious.
we don't have. Yes. So another thing that I want to find out about your publishing industry is about what's happening in the side of digital transition. I mean, not only e-books. What about the young generations? Do they read books as they used to read? There is a lack in reading or in buying, for example, books. Is the book marketing declining? Is a decline of the book marketing, especially in the young generations? Because we don't know something about that from your country, and we want to find out what's happening. You can just give us an overview. We don't need any data for that.
Unfortunately, with the younger generation, I think it's a global issue with the younger generation, but in the United Arab Emirates specifically, the younger generation prefers to read in English. They don't like to read in Arabic. Also, their interest has moved from, reading for pleasure, and they replace it with other, like electronic games and apps and all of that. And they associate the book to study. So it sort of have a negative relationship with them as children. But fortunately enough, in the United Arab Emirates, we have a lot of initiatives that supports reading for children, initiatives that focuses on strengthening the Arabic language in schools, or they do like initiatives for fun for children. We've got centers for young children to sort of let them have that connection back. But I have noticed that as an issue internationally. Like, for example, in the Korean market, I also heard that the younger generation now, they prefer to read in English, and they prefer, the Western books more than the local books.
Like she said, they prefer reading in English, and most of them now are replacing reading with podcasts. They just like to hear. Yeah, so most of them also prefer audiobooks. But as she said also, we have a lot of initiatives in the UAE. We have Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid's Reading Challenge, which is a very big event in the reading world. It is for all the Arab world, not just for the United Arab Emirates, which encourages children or people in general to read more, and there are like high prizes, they get awards, so it is very important to encourage people through these initiatives.
To to add this reading challenge, they get the support also from the schools. Like the teacher, for example, the teachers, they motivate the children to participate in that challenge. Therefore, they read more in Arabic, and the teachers sort of supervise them or give them like a list of books to read, because they measure it on how many books they read in a period of time, right? So this also helps.
I don't know if we have any questions from the audience. If someone wants to add it, to know something more about the book market of Emirates from our audience. So we have, okay, you mentioned a thing that is very crucial about the all people prefer to read in English. And yes, and I've heard this opinion, and I think this is not opinion, it's a current state, a trend in every market, and also in Greece it's happening. A lot of people, young generation people, digital generation, and young generation in general, they read directly from English and not from Greek books. And so here is a challenge for our local languages. So I think the empowerment that we are discussing is more crucial than ever, because the bridges, okay, we want to have bridges between our world, but the main barrier is the language. So if you don't find the right people to translate these books and understand what the books are about, so it's going to be more English-oriented market. And okay, I think the diversity is in danger, because our languages have a diversity and different kind of thinking. So I think that's, I don't know Nestoras, because Nestoras is going to a lot of book fairs abroad. What's your opinion about that? For example, a small language like Greek language. Okay, besides all the other things, what a publisher can do about that? Just to translate a book, right? Does it have it any? This okay. Or maybe do you hear also this problem in other countries, that the local language is not preferred so much by the young generation?
I think that the conversation for the young generation is globally, and maybe we are in the beginning of something, because now we talk. I think the last 2 years we talk about the AI and the effective of it in the readership or in the young generation, etc., etc. But from the side of the publishers, I think that the most important thing we can do is to do our work besides all of them. We must translate books and we must publish books. And we must translate and publish books in print, first of all. So if we work in this system, because you know that better than me, that every 5 or 10 years we have a new format of the reading. We have e-books, we have audiobooks, we have podcasts, we have, I don't know, AI, we have a lot of things, CD-ROM.
Augmented reality books.
Yes, maybe, I don't know. But if we insist in the print book, to publish and translate the books, so we have the good work. We have the audience, and I think that at the end, the print book could find a reader.
And you mentioned earlier about the program, the funding programs that the Emirates have for abroad, for translations abroad. Is now a program that is running, for example, for the Greek publishers to notice this program and have an application? Is there any program from your country that is running right now, and we can share this program or the link or the application form to our colleagues in Greece?
Actually, the program is not run throughout the year. It's not open throughout the year. It is open during the book fairs. So if the publisher is a part of the professional program at either Abu Dhabi Book Fair or at Sharjah International Book Fair, they can apply for the grants if they do the deals through the matchmaking. Yes, they do.
Okay. So it's a good opportunity for all the Greek publishers right now. Also, do you want to add something? No.
That I have already told about it.
Yes.
But it's a good opportunity indeed, yes.
Yes, because it's a different model,
It's a different model than usual.
Yeah.
And yes, and if you want to open your publishing mind, you could approach.
I don't know if you want to add something about your Thessaloniki experience or what are your next steps for what are your next plans for the Greek publication and Emirate publication system, and then we can finish our discussion and conclude. Yes.
I think we have covered all the aspects in terms of outreach and development, and we are so excited to be here because it's a new market for us. As she mentioned, we do have, we read old philosophy books from, Greek books, but to know and have a closer look at the modern books and get to know the Greek publishers directly, this is a great opportunity. And we are looking forward to welcome all of you in Sharjah one day.
I just wanted to thank you. I think, as she said, we covered everything. I just wanted to thank you for having us, and I would love to go and see the city as a tourist, not for business next time, because it's a beautiful city.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you. I'm okay. I've done it. Thank you for your participation.
So thank you very much for your attention. We thank our speakers for their expressing their insights, and hope to see you in the next panels. Thank you very much for your attention.